Hello, good everyone. All right, very quickly, I'll be teaching us how to use the Drawing Grid app. So you can just go to your Play Store and you download it. So this is the icon, Drawing Grid Maker. Yeah. So this is where you select the picture, gallery. So you can just select any picture you want. You see. So the first thing is to square. You can see XQ. The first thing is to square the picture. You can see. So you can decide to go diagonal, but let's just square it. You can decide to change it black and white, BW for black and white, right? So here, since we've squared the picture, you can see we have two rows and column, but after squaring it, we have just is it the column now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can decide to change this to, let's say, 16. You can see, right? So it's a perfect square now. You can decide to change it to 18, whatever. So here is where you change the thickness of the line. So what I prefer to use sometimes it's 1 or 2, depends on the the sharpness of the picture. So you can decide to use 2 or 1. So here is where you change the color of the line. Okay, let's just put this 2. You can see you can decide to change the color of the line. You can see right. So we can change. So let's say the picture is a very dark picture, or let's just assume that this picture is a black and white picture. So you don't want to use, let's say, white line, right? It will not come out properly. So you can decide to use a dark, you don't want to use a dark line, you can see, right? Or a white line. So you want to use colored. So you just go for your preferred tune. You can see. And this is where you reduce the opacity of the color. You can see, right? So you can decide to just work with any color, just play around and just get the color you want. Here you can increase the opacity of the line.
Yes.
You can see, right? Alright, so a very quick recap. The first thing to do is to square. Once you come into the app, after selecting the picture using that icon, you click here to gallery. Then the first thing is to square it, right? After squaring the picture, then the next thing, click on this icon there to select the number of rows and column you want.
So how do I know the rows and column? Like how do I know the
You would
number of?
you just it depends on the size of artwork you want to do. You understand, right?
Okay, so I would first know the size, or I
Yeah.
would first grade my paper first.
No, you can grid your paper, or it doesn't really matter. Just know the size of what you are working with. Let's say I want to create a 12 by 15 artwork now. You understand? Of course, this whole picture cannot size in to a 12 by 15 inches frame. It can size, but it will be very, very small. And as an artist, you want to draw something that is bold enough so you can pick out every detail, right?
Yes.
So you just know the number of rows and column, the boxes you are looking for. Then you just come here. You can decide to use any number. So I'm not saying you'll be using only 18. You can decide to use 10, 20, 30, 40, 25, 26, 16, thereabouts. You understand, right? So sorry. So you just click album, um, just pictures.
I think this particular app is not available for iOS, but I believe that it's the same process if you want to
Yeah,
use
it's the same.
other
It's the same process.
if you want to
Once you
use
go
other
to,
apps.
yeah, it's the same process. You can see that you square the picture, then you can select the number of rows you want. Let's just say 23. Here you reduce the thickness to 2 or 1. Here you can change the color of the line, and here you reduce the opacity. You see the opacity, that's the thickness of the color too as well. So you just change, and once you are done, you just click on this icon to save. Right, click here to save. So that'll be all for this episode. Thank you so much.